Well, good morning again and happy Sunday. I am once again up bright and early, walking over to the church like I do every Sunday morning. Today we have visiting pastors, so it's going to be really cool. If you look up recording artist, recording artist Tim Crandall, you will find our guest today. He's going to be here. He's preaching. He's going to play some music. It's going to be awesome. So super excited, looking forward to today. But this church has been through so many ups and downs like every other church on the planet. But I'll tell you what, I love the resiliency and the way that people just kind of bond together and help each other and lift each other up and are just always there. It's like this cool little family. And I so love that about my little church. It really is just a small country church, but it's awesome. So pastor's pretty cool too. But I'm really biased about that one because I'm married him. Anyway, uh, what a beautiful day is going to be today. I'm trying to keep the sun. It's back there somewhere. Yep, that was bright. It was meant to be a bit cloudy today, so I'm really hoping that the sun just sort of stays. We're going to be going to Homer later after church. We're going to have some lunch, see things, come home, start Yule grind at work, do that again, so that'll be fun. Reset. So anyway, I decided to come and sit down. I just turned everything on, got all the lights on, the sound equipment, everything. But I was just thinking about how much we can change in ourselves and the way we do things, the way we change, the way we grow, and how it happens so fast. As most of you know, I work with people that have addictions, and I'm a counselor. So it's interesting because where I work is some days it's great and other days I'm like, oh man, why do I do this, right? But then if God calls you to something, he equips you and he makes you be able to handle it. And the way I've learned to do things over the last almost 15 months I've been there, it's just been interesting. I walked into one of my overseer's office and I was talking about what was going on with one of my clients, and he said, I wish that I had a videotape of you now and a videotape of you 14 months ago when you first came here. I said, why? He says, because you are a whole nother person. And I didn't understand that, but what he meant was I am just lovey and squishy and soft to everybody, but people change how you approach people. And so I've had to learn that not everybody, you can't save them all. And you can be as hopeful and as prayerful as possible about people. But that's really important. But at the same time, don't set yourself up for disappointment. Some people have to go through things several times before they finally go, oh, and that light comes on and they realize, okay, now I really need to make a change. And it's interesting how when we try to help others through their process of change, we also change and we also adapt. And it's just, I don't know. I look back on this and I'm just like, I don't know what to think of it. But I really love what I do. My job is really amazing. I get to work with some really awesome people. The staff around me is really incredible, and I get to watch successes. And when those successes happen, they're just powerful. I'm getting to watch the success of three different of the people I work with are they've been put into out residential treatment. And they're just doing so good. They're so healthy and they're just really trying hard. And it's like that, it's those moments where you realize, okay, something you said made a difference. And the thing is maybe what you said didn't make a difference at one point, but later on it might come back. So, I mean, it's like that whole salvation thing. We plant seeds. We may not get to see them grow. We try to plant successes. We may not get to see them grow, but hopefully at some point in the future, I will hear back and hear that some of the people that I work with are clean and sober and doing great things. And I don't know, it's been a very reflective week. I've had a lot of really strange things happen, especially at work. But at the same time, you find your own strengths in that. So life really is just tuition. I've had 3 or 4 conversations this week alone where we're talking about well, all the things I've been through in my life, this hard thing and that hard thing, and that was awful, and this was awful, and that was fantastic, and that was amazing. And so you have your highs and lows. It's the mountains and the valley thing. And you grow from those. And as much as you think some of it sucks and it's terrible, you realize later on down the road that God let me go through that. God let that happen so that I could be more effective now. If I didn't learn it firsthand then, sometimes life is a better teacher than university is. I was talking to my boss this week and I said, I have learned more on this job than I did in university, to actually be there and be hands on and do the things that I do and get to have the creative license to do really amazing stuff and to try to pour life and love into these people. It has been amazing because at the same time, I find myself giving advice and I'm like, oh, maybe you should take that advice, dummy. Because sometimes good intentions for everyone else, but we don't stop to think that maybe we needed that too. And it's just amazing. That Bible verse, I can't remember which one it is exactly, but yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the Bible says you will walk through it. At no point does it say you're going to be stuck in it. It doesn't say you're going to set up camp. It doesn't say you're going to build a little cabin in the middle of hell. It just means you're going to walk through it. But God's never going to put you through something, and God's never going to put your friends and your clients and the people that you work with through anything that they can't handle. And everything we do, if you take a lesson from it and you grow from it, that's just been kind of this week. I've just been reflecting on all these things. This almost sounds scattered and crazy, but this is where my brain is right now. But it has been awesome to get to watch people grow. People that I started with over a year ago, where they're at today. Some really great successes, some still working on it, and some people take a little longer. Sometimes the flower that blooms in adversity is the most beautiful of all. I think that was the father's line out of Mulan. And I can't remember much of that movie, but I remember that. And I'm just like, that's true. That's some serious wisdom. Sometimes people just take a little longer to grow. And even though maybe you are the counselor, you are the one in charge, or you are the top of your work food chain there, sometimes you're the one that needs to grow. And I have learned that in the last year, I have grown so much right alongside the clients that I work with. And they have taught me things, and I learn things from them, and they learn things from me. And this has been a really great job. And we had somebody leave the staff here a couple months ago. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, Miss Woodworth, are you going to leave next? And I'm like, no. I love my job. I love what I do, even though sometimes it's really, really hard. But I really, really love what I do, because if you have a job that allows you to serve others and you pray for those people every day and you just hand them to God, I mean, it makes the job worthwhile, especially when you know that that's the job that God pointed out for you. That's the one that He wants you to have. So I told God when I was looking for a job, I got so frustrated. Interview after interview. Oh, you have to work weekends. Well, no, I can't. I have to be at church and do my other thing. I have to be here on the weekends, and this is where I want to be on the weekends. So no, I'm not missing church. I'm not going to step away from my faith or anything else over a job. So I just finally told God, I said, if you want me to have a job, you better issue me one. And when I found this one, I wasn't really looking for it. I only applied for it. Actually, I didn't even apply for it. I called because someone says, well, maybe you ought to call them. I'm like, they're not hiring. And just to kind of shut the other person up, I'm like, okay, fine. So God used that person to kind of egg me on a little bit. And now I have a job that I don't want to do anything else. I remember in university, I railed against doing substance abuse and alcohol and drug treatment. I couldn't relate to it. At least I didn't think so. I didn't want to do this. I'm just totally railed against it. And this is where I ended up. And I don't think I'd do anything else now. I love my job. But anyway, this is just me babbling about all the weirdness and the change and reflections for this week. So if you made it this far, congratulations. Anyway, I got to get set up for church this morning. So I will see you on the next.